Thoughtless Entertainment presents Weekly Album Reviews.
Welcome to Thoughtless Entertainment Special Report. I've got a album review I didn't want to put on Bandcamp Fridays because it's kind of a big deal. And I thought they deserved their own little episode. And who is it that we're talking about? It is none other the Black Dahlia Murder. This is the band's first studio album since Verminous, and their first after the death of former lead vocalist Trevor Strnad, with Brian Eschbach taking over vocals. Now, before we get into if bands should replace their singers, like what's been going on with Linkin Park, let's read this. The Black Dahlia Murder will continue on as a band in the wake of Trevor Strnad's death, according to the band in an interview with Decibel. The Black Dahlia Murder will now feature founding guitarist Brian Eschbach on vocals, with former guitarist Ryan Knight returning to the band to fill his role. The lineup outside Eschbach's move and Knight's return remains the same. So they really didn't get any new members. We spent many days thinking things like, is this over? Said Eschbach. None of us wanted it to be over. We still feel like there is a lot left to do. I know Trevor would keep this band going if I went down in a deep, dark path and weren't here. It's bigger than us. When we finally started talking about it, we thought, let's remake it from within and see if Ryan wants to return. And I'll take a crack on the vocals and see how it goes. I can't go out there and do Trevor's voice or try to be him. I can only execute the music of the Black Dahlia Murder with respect and try to do it the most justice I can. I've heard Trevor perform more than anyone else alive. The time I've spent with this band is the best time I've ever had at a night. Being away has given me a lot of time to reflect, and it always occurred to me that being in the Black Dahlia Murder is the best use of my time. I've thought a lot about the band while I was away and realized how much value this band has. I almost feel like I let some opportunity slip being away from the band, so it feels great to be back, and like everything has come full circle. I've realized how much I love being in this band. So there you go. We don't need to argue if bands should replace their members. And yes, they should. ACDC. So let's see how they did. The opening track, Evening Ephemeral, starts off with an arpeggiated string instrument that I'm not sure what it is. Then it kicks straight into the trademark Black Dahlia sound. The vocals aren't far off from Trevor's trademark shriek and features a killer guitar solo. The snare is nice and snappy, but the kick drum is very hard to distinguish. The guitars sound very clean and crisp, and the leads stand out in the mix more than anything, and is probably the highlights of the album. Excuse me. The low end is nice and tight, even though the kick drum is very present. Audibly, it's definitely felt. Panic Hysteria, the riff going into the guitar solo, is sick as fuck and shreds your fucking face off. Then has a real nice melodic solo. An intermission is a short and quick but beautiful classical Spanish acoustic piece. Then Asserting Dominion heads straight back to the brutality. I'm always saying most albums these days don't feature anything that's particularly memorable. Well, on this album, the guitar solos are very memorable. Instead of shredding all kinds of technical parts, which they already have in the rhythm guitars, the solos take the David Gilmour approach and fucking sing. Every song is under 4 minutes, and they continue to do what they do. The structure never deviates from the path, but they seem to be on top of their game with dozens of killer riffs and guitar solos. And as for the vocals, I think Trevor will be proud of his friend. Not too bad for a guitar player, and they stay true to the style that he created. So let me know what you guys think about the new Black Dahlia Murder. Especially you, Carl.